The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Now, if you guys have been following my reviews for a few years now, you would have known that I admired the first Hunger Games movie, really surprisingly almost loved Catching Fire, and I was excited for this movie because it's directed by the same person. The first movie had a lot of shaky cam, which really unnerved a lot of viewers, but the second film was directed by Francis Lawrence. It was swift, it was fluid, and it was really well directed, and he is taking over the reins for Mockingjay Part 1, which was really exciting for me. And this film continues the story of Katniss, played by Jennifer Lawrence, and a group of rebels who are going up against the evil capital that's been reigning over them with death and chaos and evil stuff for a long time. The way Catching Fire ended, you were like, yes, let's just see them just go against the Capitol. Yes, F those guys, they suck, they're shitty people. Go kill them, yes! So for Mockingjay, I was really pumped to see that happen. This movie's based off of one book, however, and it's being stretched into 2 movies, which is a trend nowadays. The Twilight films did it, the Harry Potter films did it, and now the Hunger Games movies are doing it. And even the Hobbit movies are doing it. 1 book for 3 movies. So I was really optimistic going into this movie. I wanted to like this movie, and unfortunately, this movie should have been called The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1, the extended trailer for Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Now, I want to make one thing really clear for the Hunger Games fans out there, and for the people who are fans of me who really wanted me to like this movie. This is not a terrible movie. This is not what I would call a bad movie. It is a movie, however, where nothing really of interest happens until the last 20 minutes or so. Like, imagine if the Mockingjay novel was a rubber band, and you just took that rubber band and you kept stretching it, and you kept stretching it, and you kept stretching it. Eventually, it's gonna break. They're trying to stretch the events of that book over 2 movies, and with this film, what it comes off as, grasping for the tiniest little bits of details that don't really add anything to the movie-going experience, that really actually take away from it and make it kind of tough to get through, because there really isn't much of any action in this movie at all. And when I say there isn't any action in this movie, I'm talking there really isn't much action in the movie at all. The shot they promoted so often in the trailers of Katniss shooting an explosive arrow at a jet, that's really the only thing she does in the movie of an offensive nature. The majority of the movie is actually a camera crew filming commercials with her, propaganda pieces to encourage the soldiers in their revolt against the Capitol, and that really is most of what she does in this movie. Jennifer Lawrence is a fantastic actress, and her character is very interesting, and she gives a great performance once again in this movie. In fact, all of the acting in the movie is very good. A lot of the drama is really well done. There isn't one thing in the movie that you would pinpoint and go, that is really bad. But one of my main issues with the movie is actually the character of Katniss. I feel that she does not grow in this movie at all. I feel like she's the exact same character she was in the last one. There's no growth in her as a character in this movie. I don't feel that she's matured or really learned much of anything in this film. And for that reason, she became less interesting around a story that was even less interesting, that is filled with endless political motivational speeches. Like, take the scene in Matrix Reloaded where Morpheus gave that motivational speech at the rave, and then times that by 10, and you got all that in this movie. Except without the rave part, just the speech part. Katniss as a character does not grow at all. She's the same as she was at the end of Catching Fire, but she doesn't use any of that oomph, any of that thrill that you got of her rebelling in this movie. Nothing really happens. She gives motivational speeches for commercials that are filmed for propaganda purposes. She sees a lot of dead bodies and cries a lot and stays underground for the entire movie. Nothing happens in Mockingjay Part 1. The characters that are interesting don't get to do anything interesting. They just sit around and talk and give speeches. And it's not until the last 20 minutes of the movie that you feel that anything of merit is actually happening, and you feel like, okay, am I about to watch the actual movie? And then it ends. In the first film, the shaky cam was so abhorrent and awful, I couldn't stand it. So it was great to see Francis Lawrence take the reins of the second one and make a much more smooth film. Unfortunately, in this one, some of the shaky cam is back. I don't know what the hell he was thinking when he decided he wanted to follow people running with a shaky handheld cam. Hasn't this series gotten enough flack for that? And didn't he fix that with Catching Fire? I'm really confused. Guys, I'm sure I'm coming off as hating this movie, but it is a well-acted movie. It does have potential, but it's filled with potentially awesome things that never reach their arc. And I was worried that I was like the only one that was feeling this way, but I would say like 5, 6, 7 people all came up to me and were like, I almost fell asleep. And that is a true statement because I nearly nodded off halfway through this movie. This is a really easy way to describe a not so great movie, but it's true. This movie was boring. I'm gonna give The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 a a C. It is a well-acted and good-looking movie, but nothing really of merit happens throughout the entire runtime. I'm sorry if I had to disappoint you guys in telling you this, unfortunately, but it happens from time to time. Now, a lot of people have compared the Hunger Games to Battle Royale. If you are a fan of Battle Royale, there's a really awesome website called spacewolflimited.com that is selling a really great Battle Royale poster. And they sent me this absolutely incredible Breaking Bad wood carving that I just love, and I just, mwah. It's amazing. These guys are independent artists. They make 50 of each of these things, and then they're gone forever once they sell out. What's also great is they personally plant a tree for every wooden item sold. They have new stuff like Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy. They have Doctor Who material. These guys are so cool. From now until the end of the year, you guys can get 25% off their stuff if you enter the coupon code Stuckmann when you make a purchase. These guys are super nice to me. They're offering to sponsor my videos, which helps me pay the bills. So thank you very much, guys, for visiting spacewolflimited.com and seeing if there's anything there you want. That's 25% off, coupon code Stuckmann. So guys, definitely check that out. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon with reviews for Assassin's Creed Unity, Super Smash for the Wii U, and a little movie called Bad Turn Worse. Thanks so much as always, guys, and if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.